Back in Pittsburgh, getting set for the opening kickoff. Here's Laura Oakman with some more insight. Laura.
Hi, Sam. Steelers linebacker Larry Foote told me he views rookie quarterbacks like dinner, saying the first thing he does when that schedule comes out is circle the rookie QBs he'll be facing. But he said that excitement ended this week as soon as Mike Tomlin put in the RG3 highlight reel. He said the room got virtually silent, saying he is very impressive, but no quarterback comes in here and dictates what he is going to do. He will get the same treatment Peyton Manning or Tom Brady get. He will be getting the entire defensive package. A package, by the way, Sam, that has been very successful for Pittsburgh. Dick LeBeau, 14-1 against rookie quarterbacks.
Thanks, Laura. We'll see RG3 in the offense in a little while. First, it's the Steelers who will receive the opening kickoff. That's Chris Rainey back deep. Kai Forbath in his third game as a Redskin will kick it off. He's not usually deep with his kicks. This one coming down short of the goal line from the 3. Rainey gets close to the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at the key players today on offense, Brian.
Well, obviously for them, they're trying to create a balance right now. Marquise Pouncey back in the offensive line is a huge return for them. Dwyer's running the ball very well, but Mike Wallace is the one that comes up with the big plays, and they tell us that Heath Miller may be the best football player on this team.
Mike Wallace had a rough game in Cincinnati with 4 drops last week, but he said he worked hard all week in practice and didn't drop anything. We'll see. Ben Roethlisberger with a great record at home against the NFC. Had a good game last week in Cincinnati. This is Jonathan Dwyer bouncing off a couple of would-be tackles and getting 5 on the first carry of the game. Take a look at the Redskins' key players on defense, Brian.
Well, they've been beat up. They're glad to have London Fletcher in the lineup, obviously. Kerrigan is a good young outside pass rush specialist, but Hall and Griffin, they're going to be challenged by this 3 and 4 wide receiver set of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
3 wide receivers in right now. Antonio Brown, Mike Wallace, and Emmanuel Sanders, the top 3. Heath Miller, the tight end. The fake by Roethlisberger, and he finds Miller across midfield and down to the 46-yard line of the Redskins. London Fletcher brought him down, but that's the man you talked about. He may be the key receiver on this team.
Well, they just faked a quick screen to the outside. You're going to see Ben here turn to the right and pump it. And these people are going to see these screens all day. So the Redskins come crashing up. They double move to the outside, put Heath Miller down the sideline, come up with the first big play of the game.
And they get 25 on the play. 2 tight ends in now. The rookie David Paulson out of Oregon. Number 81 is in. In motion, Mike Wallace. Here's Jonathan Dwyer, who had 120 yards rushing last week in the game at Cincinnati. Picked up 4 on the play. London Fletcher was bothered by a hamstring, came out of the game last week. Was concerned about balance issues, but he worked out before the game and pronounced himself ready to go.
Yeah, he can do that. You could see Jim Haslett visiting with him to say, now you got to make sure this feels right. We don't want to lose you for the season for the sake of 1 game. They counseled with him, and he said he can go.
232nd consecutive game for London Fletcher's. Never missed a game in the NFL. That streak had something to do with him wanting to play. Roethlisberger, and the pass is complete. Complete to Mike Wallace down at the 24, at the 34-yard line. Before we go any further, those uniforms that the Steelers are wearing, throwbacks to 1934.
Well, they were 2-10 that year in 1934, and I think I can see why. We'll see if they can fare better today with these things.
Some guys look good in them, some guys not so good. First down, Steelers on the move.
Black 20. Black, what's up?
Roethlisberger gets time. Safety valve across to Wallace, who's hit immediately by Ryan Kerrigan. Short pickup of 3 on the play.
Ryan Kerrigan's turned into a very special player coming out of the 2nd round in Purdue. They've asked him to do a lot. He's not only a edge rusher, but he's one of those guys that also has to be able to drop like a linebacker, one of the proverbial hybrid guys. He's learned to do that in this Jim Haslett type defense, which is a mirror of across the way with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Leads the team with 3.5 sacks.
Black 20.
Fullback is Will Johnson motioning. Off the fake, Roethlisberger looking. We had the fake on Kerrigan, throwing. It's off the hands and incomplete. Try to hit Heath Miller, and that was prolonging the play by Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, you can hear Wallace down here. He's going to go vertical, waiting for that shot. And now he's just hanging. This is what the Redskin defense has to do. Make sure they don't let Wallace and these other receivers get in behind them. Keep the vision downfield. Come up and make the play. Don't let it get behind them. They've been victimized by way too many big plays.
On 3rd and 7, Baron Batch, number 20. Second-year man out of Texas Tech in the backfield with Roethlisberger. Quarterback gets time. And the catch made. And the ball dropped, but it's down was Emmanuel Sanders, and he's got a first down at the 16-yard line. Pick up a 15 on the play.
Nice protection by the offensive line. We'll get my circle right there. You can see Max Starks does a nice job working Kerrigan up the field, allowing Roethlisberger to step up. And now you just have a little pivot route underneath. Look deep, not there. Drop it off, let someone catch and run for the first down.
Dwyer back in at running back. And the Steelers continue to be outstanding. They're better than 53% conversion rate on 3rd downs. Roethlisberger outside. Wallace takes it down to the 5-yard line and a first down. These Steeler receivers are good after the catch.
That's a big part of it. And this was set up by that previous play where they faked the screen and went vertical. And now look at here. This is where they help one another. Receivers blocking for one another down the field. If you're going to be good in the running game, good in the passing game, you've got to get the receivers involved blocking as well.
2 tight ends to the left. Miller and Paulson.
Black 20.
On 1st and goal, it's Dwyer cutting in and brought down on the play by D'Angelo Hall. Steelers wanted a penalty flag after the play.
Not quite sure what it is they were begging for, other than they just want a penalty flag. They are at home, so I guess they're allowed that. The thing they love about Dwyer, let's see here at the end here. Well, he got shoved in. You can see right there. It's a pushing and shoving match. The officials saw both. They didn't get just the second guy. No harm, no foul.
About 2.5 yards out, 2nd and goal. Opening drive of the game. Roethlisberger throws to Heath Miller. And he is down short of the goal line. Just short of the goal line. Stephen Bowen, the defensive end, number 72, made the stop.
As you talked about, Sam, they love to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. We've seen it twice now where you just throw almost like an extended handoff. Get it out good and wide. Let the speed of the receiving corps or the size of Miller almost gets it in, but not quite.
Heath Miller has 5 touchdown catches this season. 11th play of the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Dwyer was hit in the backfield and comes up short. They went power to the left side with 2 tight ends and the fullback, and it's 4th down inside the 1.
You can just see here on the strong side the way they just blow this thing up. Nice job splitting the gap by Rob Jackson. He just stunts it right here, and all of a sudden now they're faced with the dilemma. Do we go for it on 4th down? And yes, they do.
There they go. Mike Tomlin wants to drive it into the end zone. 4th and goal.
Got Heath Miller up here one-on-one. This may be what they're looking for.
Play fake. Roethlisberger throws. Touchdown. Leonard Pope, the 3rd tight end. Steelers lead.
Pretty bold call by Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers, at home, where they want to get. You're going to see right here, all of a sudden in the picture, you're going to see Heath Miller right here. He's going to swab it off with a good play fake. Ben Roethlisberger, and just the way he can, with a guy in his face, able to get the ball off to Pope for the touchdown.
Extra point by Sean Swayzem is good. Opening drive, 12 plays, 76 yards, went over 7 minutes, finished off on the touchdown pass to Leonard Pope.
On Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Impressive start to the game by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, when you come back and you see this touchdown, excellent job by Pope. Really slam releases. It looks like a run and then sneaks out underneath Heath Miller. Nice play action fake.
First touchdown of the season for Leonard Pope. Brandon Banks is back deep, and the kickoff by Swayzem. Banks 2 yards deep, brings it out. Hops over one man and goes down short of the 20-yard line. They'll mark it at the 19. Here comes RG3, Robert Griffin III, leading the NFL in completion percentage. Redskins start from the 19 with 2 tight ends, Logan Paulson and the recently re-signed Chris Cooley. End around to Joshua Morgan. Cuts it back and gets up to the 28-yard line, a pickup of 9 on the play. Who are the key players to watch on offense for the Redskins, Brian?
Well, we've already talked about Morris, the running back, a big part of what they're doing. Santana Moss, that's where the big plays come from. Chris Cooley back in the lineup, re-signed to the team after the loss of tight end Fred Davis, and Trent Williams anchors what is a very improved Redskins front line.
Redskins lead the NFL in rushing, averaging 177 yards per game. Here's the toss to the rookie Alfred Morris, but he's stopped for loss. Good job. James Harrison leading the defensive charge.
Well, these numbers are stunning for any quarterback, let alone a rookie. 70% completion. If you can find a rookie that completes more than 60% of his passes in his rookie year and has anywhere near as many touchdowns as interceptions, that's something special. These numbers tell you just how gifted this young man has been.
3rd and 1 for the Redskins. Terrell Young is in at fullback, number 36. It's Morris. And he's hit and stuffed for loss. Steelers defense, strong play up front.
Well, this is what Steeler football is all about. Watch the way the nose and the edge sets that pushes from the inside out. Then they fill with both the outside linebacker, the safety, the linebackers. With the Washington Redskins, it's all about that stretch zone. That's very difficult against a disciplined 3-4 defense like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Strong first series for the Steelers. Sav Rocca with a punt. Antonio Brown returning from the 23. Looking for some room. He found a little and got tripped up. And a good tackle by Dijon Gomes. Ben Roethlisberger, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and has had a good start to the game already. Of the city of Pittsburgh. And the Steelers start their second drive of the game from the 28-yard line. Redskins have Chris Baker, number 92, in at nose tackle. Jonathan Dwyer, third-year man out of Georgia Tech. Strong run, breaks another tackle. And is caught from behind by Madieu Williams, the safety, as he gets down to the Redskins' 38-yard line, a 34-yard run.
Dwyer, you're going to see here, they love the downhill physicality. Stop there. It all gets collapsed. You can't leave these ends open like this on the backside. Not a lot of dance with Dwyer. He sees where he wants to go. He might give you one cut and go, and you're not going to bring him down with an arm.
I look at him, he looks like a smaller version of Jerome Bettis.
They say he has very quick feet.
End around. Emmanuel Sanders wanted to throw it, and he spun down at the 45-yard line. Now it's time for our first game break of the day. And let's go to Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
All right, Sam. Drew Davis, you never heard of him? Apparently the Eagles didn't either. They left him wide open in the end zone. He scores from 15 yards out, puts the Falcons on top in Philadelphia 7-0. Davis had never had an NFL catch until that drive. He had 2 and a score. Sam and Brian.
Yeah, Harry Douglas out of the lineup for Atlanta. They were concerned about that, and obviously they found someone to take his spot.
Falcons 6-0, only undefeated team in the NFL. Ball back to the 45-yard line. Quick outside. And spun down right away was Antonio Brown. Pickup of a couple of yards on the play.
Pass complete to Brown.
That was the third one of these wide quick screens that we've seen today. They obviously want to kind of stretch the defense of the Washington Redskins, stay away from that interior front 7, which is the strength of this defense.
A 3rd and 15 for the Steelers. They are number 1 in the NFL on third down conversions this season. Better than 53%. 3 wide receivers in. Big Ben has time and completes it to Mike Wallace, short of a first down. They'll give him forward progress at the 30-yard line. Medea Williams on the tackle.
Redskins are going to have to put a better rush on Ben Roethlisberger than what we're seeing here. He buys some time stepping up, and then right on the money to Wallace. We've seen 2 routes now on third down, coming shallow underneath a couple verticals. Didn't quite get the yardage needed there for the first down. I'm going to settle for the field goal.
Sean Sweezum, one-time Washington Redskin, who is 14 for 15 this season, will attempt from 48 yards out. And the kick is inside the upright and is good. Steelers have had the ball twice and put points on the board twice. It's 10-0. Foxtoberfest continues with our exclusive coverage. Game 4 of the World Series. Giants going for the sweep. Tigers trying to stay alive. Max Scherzer goes for the Tigers, and it'll be Matt Cain for the Giants. It all begins right after the OT. The best post-game show there is in football. After the OT, it's the World Series on Fox. What do you think? Giants on a roll, man. Everything they do is beautiful.
Yeah, right now they can do nothing wrong.
Steelers with a good start. Sweezum with the kickoff deep and over the head of Brandon Banks and through the end zone. Redskins will start from the 20. Second offensive series for RG3. Dick LeBeau is 75 years old. He coaches like he's 35. Look at the Steelers since his return, his second stint as defensive coordinator. Look at their rankings. The yards given up and points given up. He is a football genius. Griffin outside quickly to Joshua Morgan. And Morgan gets a first down up to the 32-yard line. A quick out. Larry Foote with the tackle.
It was such a joy to sit with Dick LeBeau the other day, Sam. This guy, keep in mind, he started in the league in 1959. Now, I was born in 1954, and I'm an old man. He has been 7 decades. There's not a classier guy in the league. What on a football field has Dick LeBeau not seen? That's tough to coordinate against.
And he relates to the younger players just the way any younger coach would. Off the play fake and the fake of the end around. Griffin going deep. He's got a man open. It's the tight end, Logan Paulson, who drags the defender with him down to the 36-yard line. Logan Paulson has taken over as the #1 tight end since Fred Davis went down.
Watch what the play action fake out of Robert Griffin. First with the downhill, now the reverse. Everybody is absolutely frozen. That allows Paulson to get in behind not only the linebackers, but the safety, because they were all mesmerized by the double fake.
Steelers give up the fewest big plays in the league, and that one was good for 32. The handoff to the fullback, Darrell Young. There's that option play. Time for an update on what's happening in London. Let's go back to Kurt Menefee.
Yeah, let's check out New England in Old England. Tom Brady hooking up with Brandon Lloyd, 19-yard score. 40th straight game that Brady has had a touchdown pass. And right now, it's all tied at 7 with the Rams early on. Sam and Brian?
very much, Kurt. Team's making the long trip out to London. There's a toss back to Alfred Morris. Morris bounces off one man, gets positive yardage, this time down to the 23-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play.
As I mentioned earlier, these two backs, Morris and Dwyer for Pittsburgh, Morris, of course, for Washington, both very similar. Both downhill physical runners. They might give you one cut, but that's about it. But they have the size that you better take this guy on full flush. No arm tackle is going to bring down either one of these backs.
Two backs in the backfield. Darrell Young, the fullback. Off the fake. Griffin looking downfield and throwing, and it's dropped by Leonard Hankerson. He had a touchdown in his hands.
The accuracy of RG3 outside the pocket. He waits and waits, and watch where this thing hits. This was Aaron Rodgers-esque in terms of where it hit, right on the hands. Hankerson thought, yeah, he may have been thinking about getting to that end zone. All he had to do was catch it and step up, turned his head before the ball came in.
Brett Kiesel urging the crowd on. Here's 3rd and 6 for the Redskins. For 29th in the league on 3rd down conversions. Evan Royster in the backfield. The pass outside, caught by Santana Moss, and he's out of bounds. 1st down at the 14-yard line. Santana Moss, whose role has been reduced, has come up with big plays this season.
Yeah, just watch the accuracy. He's checking the front right here, sees the pressure coming. They've got a hat on a hat. He knows he has the time, delivers another very, very accurate pass on the run to convert for the 3rd down.
There's Santana Moss. Last week he caught 3 passes, 2 for touchdowns. Time winds down in the 1st quarter. The Steelers off to the good start, led by Ben Roethlisberger. Sam Rosen, Brian Billick, Laura Oakman, start of the 2nd quarter. Some key numbers, Brian.
Yeah, obviously everybody's throwing the ball real well.
On 1st down, Griffin with time, throws, and it's dropped. Desmond Briscoe. 2 drops, and both in the end zone, right at the end zone.
Boy, these passes have been right on the money. Every single one of them that's been dropped had 2 potential touchdowns that have been dropped. Awful hard to come into Pittsburgh and beat this Steeler defense when you go through all that you have to have that opportunity and can't convert on the catch.
Briscoe upset. Keenan Lewis had a hand in there. The toss to Morris inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line.
You know, we've already seen this gun play action fake of RG3, and look what this does. The fact that the linebackers have to respond to it, the release of the tight end. Look at the vision that RG3 has. He can read the end, and that's the pass that comes off these play action fakes. It's lethal for those linebackers, and then of course you can always pull it out and run it as well.
3rd and 4. 3 wide receivers in. He split the fullback, actually. Griffin rolls, throws, and completes it inside the 5 to Joshua Morgan. He's got a 1st down at the 3-yard line.
Just a nice job. Just a little kind of rub route. Simple as could be to the outside. Got to make sure that the catch is at the 1st down depth on something like that. You don't want to come up short. There again, an extremely accurate pass by Robert Griffin.
3 tight ends in. Niles Paul, Chris Cooley, and Logan Paulson for the Redskins.
Got an unbalanced line here on the left.
And a flag flies in. False start on the Redskins.
False start. Number 82 on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 1st down.
That's on Logan Paulson, the tight end, or one of the tight ends.
Yeah, that took way too long to get orchestrated. And of course, they're down in the noisy end of the stadium. The opposite end is the open end. Down in here, been here many, many times. and that gets very, very loud, very hard to orchestrate snaps down on that end of the field. They need to get a quick snap count, not do a lot of motioning and shifting down here.
Now 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Cooley motions. And the toss to Morris, cuts it back. And gets back inside the 5-yard line. Picks up 4 on the play. What a story Alfred Morris is. 6th-round draft pick. He was listed 3 or 4 on the depth chart coming into training camp. And when the preseason game started, he just went off, got the opportunity with some injuries, and took advantage of them.
Yeah, you can see here the book on him coming out of Florida Atlantic. The thing they saw in him very early is he's very deliberate. That's the word that Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan kept using for him. He's a deliberate runner, which is just exactly what they want in this system.
2nd and goal. Griffin being rushed. Throwing deep in the end zone for Santana Moss, incomplete. And he took a hit on the play as he was blitzed from the outside. The safety, Will Allen. Ike Taylor as well.
That was just good coverage. You can see right here the ball had to go up very quickly. Aiming for the corner. I think RG3, that's the first inaccurate pass we've seen him throw, and you can see why. Both edges were unblocked. He knew he had to get the ball up quickly to get it out.
Timmons, the other man on the hit. Taylor was in on the coverage. Now they go empty backfield with Evan Royster, the running back, split wide. Griffin takes it himself and is stopped short of the goal line at the 2. Keenan Lewis with a tackle.
We're going to see the Redskins go for it here as well. We saw Pittsburgh open the game, going for it on 4th down on the goal line, wanting to make a statement. Anytime you empty the backfield, there's the threat of the quarterback draw. Certainly no more so than with Robert Griffin. And they're going for it on 4th down. They needed to answer the 4th down call of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's loud down on the field. Griffin throws, and it is a touchdown, Redskins. Santana Moss with another big grab.
And that's the hardest of all throws for a quarterback, right into the teeth of the defense. Very rarely can you even see what you're throwing to. They answered the 4th down challenge just like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wanted to make a statement, going forward on 4th in their opening series. Washington responding the exact same way, almost in the exact same position.
Kai Forbath on the extra point. It's blocked. They've had problems at kicking this season. They had Billy Cundiff earlier this season. And this time Forbath is blocked. But Robert Griffin III, he finds his receiver in the end zone for the touchdown. Back in Pittsburgh, Robert Griffin III on the 4th down play. A 13-play scoring drive finished off with a pass to Santana Moss. Redskins are 7 for 7 on 4th down conversions this season.
Well, on the road in particular, that is huge for you. That mixed extra point could make a difference here down the road. You hate to come away with one less point when you went so far and so long in so many plays.
Chris Rainey on the return. It's across the 25, and he's brought down. We'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching today's broadcast in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea on AFN, the American Forces Network. Thanks for all you do. Our thoughts and prayers are with you for your safety and your safe return home, and we thank you for keeping us safe.
59-56.
Ben Roethlisberger starts from the 26. He's 9 for 10 for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. 10-6. Steelers leading it. Roethlisberger with time, and he finds Emmanuel Sanders at the 40-yard line. Another 1st down. Boy, Ben's special when he gets time.
Well, this one comes out quick. This is a spot pass. Washington has to play some loose zones. They don't want to get a lot of man coverage, not with this speedy receiving corps of Pittsburgh. So they have to play some passive zones that keeps the alleys very, very tight. Ben Roethlisberger certainly capable of dropping into those tight windows.
And here they go, no huddle with Chris Rainey in the backfield.
Hey, 59, 59.
Roethlisberger checking off. 3 wide receivers in. And the flag goes, could be delay of the game.
Now I think Washington got a little bit of an early jam here.
Defense. Encroachment. Number 20. 5-yard penalty. Remaining touchdown.
Cedric Giffen tried to get a jam prior to the snap. Ben Roethlisberger checking the play because it looked like they were manning up across. You're going to see here at the very top of the screen right there. Tried to get an early jam and time it. That's awful tough to do when you're a wideout, but they've got to do something to slow down these quick receivers. Ben Roethlisberger taking advantage of the man-to-man coverage, or tried to.
1st and 5 now for the Steelers. Roethlisberger incomplete. Try to hit Mike Wallace. A little bit low. And only the 2nd incompletion of the game. Again, no huddle. Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator. Light rain has begun falling here.
Hey, 59. 59.
Pittsburgh's using their
56,
version
56.
of the pistol, the gun pistol.
And the handoff inside. They get a couple of yards up to the 48-yard line, bring up a 3rd and 2.
Both teams use this pistol offense, Sam, and all that is, it's putting the quarterback in the gun, as we see here, with an eye back behind him. All that does is allow you to make this downhill running game should you decide to use it like this, as opposed to next to the quarterback where it tends to be more of a trapping game.
Rainey stays in at running back. It's 3rd and 2 for the Steelers. It's Rainey. And he lunges across midfield and gets a 1st down.
This is something the Steelers are expanding on. They haven't done a whole lot of no huddle. They did it obviously early in the season against Denver and Oakland. But to see it in this fashion, and this suits the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got a veteran quarterback. They love to get into that pistol now, particularly in no huddle. You saw him shift into it to get downhill in the running game. You've got the veteran quarterback to do it, and a lot of receivers outside that if the defense matches up in the way you want, they'll take that shot down the field. They're an empty backfield right now.
The running back, Jonathan Dwyer, is in, but he's split out to the left side. Quick outside to Antonio Brown. Picked up a big block. Slips one man, goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
That's the 4th one of these we've seen. Get the ball outside quickly. Again, it's real simple. I'm going to get it in the hands of my guys as quickly as I can. What did we say earlier? Like cut block right there. Nice job. You have to do a good job blocking down the field for your running mates, for your receiving mates. These guys play for each other.
Steelers feel they have the best group of receivers around the league.
Call themselves the money group.
They got the 3 youngsters, and then Jericho Cotchery fits right in as the number 4. Rainey, the running back now, on 1st down. Roethlisberger gets time. The pass caught by Antonio Brown down at the 17-yard line. And Roethlisberger on target, 18-yard pickup.
And his receivers are making the grabs that RG's 3 receivers are not. That's a tough catch, high, going away, reaching up. Beautiful hands here. Where Washington does it with a play fake and get in behind the linebackers, the Steelers run a lot of receivers underneath and look for the receiver in behind.
Big Ben is 12 for 14. Everybody out, and the pass caught by Wallace. lunges for the first down. And looks like he's got it down at the 7-yard line.
Well, people have talked a little bit about the now dink and dunk offense of the Steelers, and all that dink and dunk means is we're just going to work our way down the field with as many plays as it takes. We'll run the ball, we'll throw the ball. At some point, you're going to step up in the wrong way, and we're going to get the ball in behind you. But so far, we've seen 2 long, well-orchestrated drives.
And this offense keeps Ben Roethlisberger clean. Nobody's got a hand on him.
Yeah, that's tough. They've got to get some pressure on him, and they got to do it with their 4-man front. They bring any more than that, he's going to take advantage of it on the outside.
And again, empty backfield. Everybody out. Roethlisberger himself dumps it off to Rainey. Dropped it. Chris Rainey was covered by Perry Riley very closely, but he dropped it near the goal line.
This is classic Roethlisberger. He's looking to the outside for his receivers. Not there. Climb it, I may run. No, at the last second, I'll pull it out. No one does it better than Roethlisberger. Probably surprised Rainey. He was probably thinking, okay, if you're going to run, I'm going to turn around and block somebody, and all of a sudden the ball was out.
Rainey, a 5th-round draft pick out of Florida, rookie, with the top 2 running backs still out injured, Richard Mendenhall and Isaac Redmond. On 2nd and goal. To the side for Ross. He got a one-handed grab. No. They said he came down out of bounds.
That was one of the most spectacular non-scoring plays you're ever going to see. Reaches up with that right hand, really can't bring it into control quick enough. Eventually gets it, still bobbling. He had the feet in beautifully. That was magnificent, but he clearly didn't have control at the same time he had his feet inbounds.
Hey, 59. Hey, 97 down.
10th play of the drive. Fans still looking at the replay and reacting. Meanwhile, the next play comes off. Everybody out. Roethlisberger fakes, takes off, throws deep in the end zone. Touchdown to Heath Miller. Heath Miller with his 6th receiving touchdown of the season.
This is just not fair. How many times has he pumped the pump there? No, I'm going to run. I'm up. Now I'm going to run. No, I'm just going to raise up and throw it again. Nobody does it as well as Ben Roethlisberger in this fashion. Just totally collapses a defense around pumping them with his arm, showing the run, stepping up, and pulling it out at the last second and throwing it again.
Sweezen's extra point is good. A 10-play drive. Roethlisberger finishes it off. He goes to his tight end, and the Steelers celebrate a 17-6 lead. Steelers offense looking pretty good. With a scoring drive, 10 plays, 74 yards, 5 minutes, 16 seconds. Then Roethlisberger, 14 for 18, 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sweezen's kickoff to Brandon Banks, and he brings it out. Picks up a block on the outside. Banks with a good return. Still going as he crosses the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins try to come up with something. Heath Miller's got another touchdown. Here comes RG3. Back in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers, 2-0 at home this season, have won their last 5 home games dating back to last season. Redskins start from the 25-yard line, 3 tight ends in. Leonard Hankerson, the only wide receiver, motions. And Alfred Morris, the running back. Griffin looking back, throwing deep across the field, wide open. Logan Paulson, it was thrown a little too far. James Harrison was covering Logan Paulson on the play.
Yeah, James Harrison is a heck of a rush specialist, but I don't know that you want him. You're going to see up here, this is a real trick 'em play. Start the boot, come back here. You normally throw play side. They snuck Paulson out the backside. James Harrison going, whoop, I think somebody needs to run with him. Didn't quite get there, but didn't need to. Missed opportunity there for the Redskins.
On 2nd and 10, it's Alfred Morris cutting it back. And showing he's tough to bring down. He's got a first down. Makes some good yardage after the contact. Who are the key players to watch on the Steelers defense today, Brian?
Great defenses are built inside out. Casey Hampton in the middle, taking that cock nose position. Woodley and Harrison not only bring pressure on the outside, excellent against the run. And Will Allen, we've already heard about the tight ends coming against the Washington Redskins. Will Allen in for the injured Troy Polamalu.
Troy Polamalu missing another game. Aldrick Robinson, number 11, in at wide receiver for the Redskins. First year man out of SMU. Off the fake. The short throw is broken up by Will Allen, intended for Chris Cooley. Allen with a good play. Chris Cooley happy to be back with the Redskins. He was cut at the end of preseason.
He just comes out of this stack position. They wanted a shot down the field. Again, a heavy play action fake. Down the field, not there. RG3 just trying to salvage a little something, dropping the ball off underneath. Wasn't going to happen with Will Allen, who we just mentioned, jumping up on the tight end.
Ball at the 37. Ankerson motions. 2 tight ends in. Actually, 3 tight ends in. The toss to Morris. Finds some running room. It's up to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 6. Alfred Morris started the game second in the NFL. 1 yard behind Arian Foster with 658 yards rushing.
Who's also featured in that stretch zone scheme in Houston, beginning with Kyle Shanahan, who was down there as the offensive coordinator for Gary Kubiak. Gary Kubiak, of course, working with Mike Shanahan for a number of years.
A lot of connections. Evan Royster in at running back for the Redskins on 3rd and 4. The pitch, and looking to throw it is Joshua Morgan, looking to throw to RG3, and it's incomplete. There's a flag on the play. 2 flags.
I'm going to be interested in seeing as to who pushed whom.
Well, there's the first this season.
Well, obviously RG3's got the speed to run this thing down. They're going to have to sort this out because there was a whole lot of pushing and shoving going on down there. And right there, that little push you saw. Ooh, boy, then he got blown up. Anytime you get a shot at a quarterback, you want to take it. Right. Ooh, now that could be helmet to helmet as well. This is going to be interesting. Clearly, he shoved Ike Taylor. But then we saw Ryan Clark come across and give a shot to RG3's head.
Pete Morelli's our ref.
Pass interference.
Wow, that's it. It is on Robert Griffin III, offensive pass interference.
Just that little shove right there just to get the separation. That's a good call. But it's that shot. Well, it never did hit the helmet to helmet. That's a good hit by Clark. That's one of those things you question about sending your quarterback down the field, but you don't expect that kind of hit going on a trick play throwing back across the field.
He's a great athlete. He's a great basketball player. In high school, short kick by Stavrock off the side of his foot, out of bounds. In good field position for the Steelers at the Steelers' 45-yard line. That's about an 8-yard punt. Officially a 12-yard punt for Savraka. So the Steelers start from the 45-yard line. Jonathan Dwyer in at running back.
They're manned up across the board. Something's going to go on here.
Everybody out. And he finds Emmanuel Sanders. Turns it into a big gain. He's out of bounds at the Redskins' 28-yard line.
See this over and over. You send some guys vertical versus man, have one guy shallow underneath, just in case you don't like the pass down the field. You're going to see him cross right here. Awful hard for D'Angelo Hall to cover the entire field with that kind of speed running away from you underneath.
27-yard gain. Steelers have 3 plays over 20 yards in the game. 1 run, 2 passes. Three wide receivers. Dwyer cuts it back. Good strength by Jonathan Dwyer, the third-year running back, getting a chance to play. Had a big game last week in Cincinnati. Strong run.
Watch this left side here. They do a great job of sealing off that left side, working up to the second level. Excellent job by Willie Colon, working up to the linebacker level. Allows the big back Dwyer to get downfield, going to cover it up. You're not going to be a running back for the Steelers very long if you turn the ball over.
6 carries, 58 yards for Jonathan Dwyer. First down at the Redskins 15-yard line. Dwyer again. Works his way down to the 12. Time for an update, and for that, back to Kurt Menefee in the studio. Kurt.
Well, the unbeaten Falcons starting to rack up some stats in Philly. Matt Ryan hooking up with Julio Jones, longest pass play of the year for the Falcons. Jones leading 8th touchdown reception. Matt Ryan has 3 TD passes in the first half, and they lead 21-7 over the Eagles, trying to stay unbeaten. Sam and Brian.
Thanks very much, Kurt. Eagles wanted to change things on defense, but they given up 21 already.
Yeah, it looks like the same Eagle defense as before.
2nd and 7. Roethlisberger pump fake. The throw to the corner. And well covered was Heath Miller by Jordan Pugh.
Pugh got a nice, well-timed jam on Heath Miller there, trying to run a little wheel route in behind it. Steelers continue to go with the no huddle. They wanted to expand on that. They've had 2 nice drives now out of the no huddle. Nope, changed their mind, decided to go back in the huddle. Typically that'll happen too. Third down calls, or when you get this tight in the red zone, you want to have a more well-orchestrated call.
Steelers 3rd and 3 for 5 on third down conversions in the game.
0-0-0-0.
Dwyer, the running back, 3 wide receivers in. Quick pass to Wallace. He's short of a first down as he makes the grab at the 8-yard line. Josh Wilson covering on the play. Antonio Brown has words with Cedric Griffin. The Steelers, with 2 minutes to go in the half, lead 17-6.
Steelers are going for it. Another 4th down, 4th and 4. This is the 2nd time they've gone for it inside the 10 on a 4th down. Mike Tomlin wanted to kind of put a nail in this thing all but in the first half.
What do you think of this?
Here you go, here you go.
In motion, Cottrey. They've got 4 wide receivers.
Trying to draw them off sides, possibly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the timeout. All right.
Worth a shot.
All right. They gave it the shot. They gave it the look and send on the field goal kicking unit. Let's see what Kurt Menefee has for us at halftime.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll have highlights from a busy Week 8, including the Patriots taking on the Rams in London, and the Dolphins looking to upset their division rival Jets. Join Terry, Jimmy, and we'll get Michael and Howie somewhere on the Visa Halftime.
The group just relaxing before they get very busy at halftime. Sean Sweesom with 1 field goal already in the game. 48-yarder. He is 15 for 16 on the season. Steelers 4th possession of the game, and they have scored on each of the previous 3, trying to make it 4 for 4 on the scoreboard.
I'm not a big fan of these jerseys, but I tell you what, playing like that, we may see him again.
That's right. 27-yard try is good. Steelers lead it 20-6. One thing we told you earlier, they love their receivers. They call them the money crew.
They do. You can see it here. Emmanuel Sanders. Then they can always come back and hit you with the speedy Mike Wallace. And if that's not enough, they can come back to Antonio Brown. And not pictured in this crew is Jericho Cottrey, the old veteran that can be a great addition. They love having Cottrey with these young guys, mentoring them in what it is to be a real professional.
And those 3 were the stars of a big feature on the pregame show today.
And Ben Roethlisberger here talking to Byron Leftwich and Charlie Batch. He said he loved the fact that between the 3 of them, there's 35 years of experience. He really draws on that.
Steelers offense had been criticized a good portion of the early part of the season. They've had 4 possessions, put 20 points on the board here in the first half.
And there's an efficiency here that offensive coordinator Todd Haley's been going for. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger known for doing more with less. Typical numbers, he'll be 22 of 37 or 22 of 32 for 350 yards. A little bit different now, a little more efficiency in what they're doing, breaking down this Redskin defense, who's had some troubles, particularly in the back end.
As we've talked about a couple of times already, Redskins have not put a hand on Ben Roethlisberger in the game.
That's tough enough to do when you do get pressure on him and you do defeat the blocks, let alone without getting close to him.
Sweezum's kick to Brandon Banks brings it back from 7 yards deep. Banks finds an opening. And it's out of bounds up at the 23-yard line. Fox Tuesday, celebrate Halloween with a monster all-new night of comedy that'll scare you silly, Brian. It's all new episodes of Raising Hope, Ben and Kate, and New Girl, and The Mindy Project, all starting at 8, 7 Central this Tuesday on Fox. World Series tonight follows the OT. Game 4 in Detroit. Giants with a 3-0 lead over the Tigers in the World Series. Now Robert Griffin III calling the play out. 3 wide receivers in. Griffin going short, and it's dropped by Evan Royster. Royster usually reliable hands coming out of the backfield.
Washington's in real peril here of a 3-and-out. The clock obviously going to be in the favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The whole idea in 2 minutes, obviously down score, or secondly, don't give it back to your opponent. And with an incomplete pass on the first play, there's a real chance of that.
Moss motions. Logan Paulson is the tight end. The blitz coming, the quick pass, knocked out of the hands of Joshua Morgan. Hard hitting. Keenan Lewis, boy, he's been aggressive.
I don't know that you call this a drop pass as much as it getting blown up, but 2 incompletions to start this. You might think, and Mike Shanahan may think, you know what, we may have to run the ball here just to run some clock down. You throw another incompletion here, you've let Pittsburgh hold on to its 2 timeouts up here, and with lots of time for Ben Roethlisberger to move them down in for another score.
We'll call it a drop, and that's the 4th drop for the Redskins. On 3rd and 10. Griffin gets some time looking, and he finds Santana Moss. He dribbles and drops. Will Allen was covering, but that was a pass that should have been caught.
That's brutal. You know, another drop pass, 2 for possible scores. 3 straight incompletions for Washington. They ran off a total of about 12 seconds. So now with 2 timeouts, the Pittsburgh Steelers, excellent opportunity to run their 2-minute offense. They've been in no huddle most of the game. This will be nothing to get into 2 minutes.
Antonio Brown on the return of the Sabrocca punt. Tiptoes the sideline. There's a flag back at the 32 of the Steelers. We'll check that out. Brown went out of bounds at the Redskins 46. Which would be excellent field position for Pittsburgh.
Number 35 of the kicking team went out of bounds on his own. 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. First down.
That's on David Jones, the backup cornerback. So the Steelers in excellent position here to put points on the board with 1:23 remaining in the first half, and the Steelers with a 20-6 lead. Roethlisberger 16 for 21, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chris Rainey is the running back. 3 wide receivers in, and they split Heath Miller to the right as well. Draw play to Rainey. And Medea Williams with a good job coming up from the safety position to stop Rainey. Gain of a yard on the play.
Again, we saw a little fake to the quick screen. We've seen the vertical, a couple quick screens, and now fake the quick screen and come back and drop off the draw very quickly. didn't fake the Redskin defense at that point, but it will set up something else down the way.
Roethlisberger pressured by Kerrigan. He slipped him with the pass a little too high, intended for Emmanuel Sanders. And that was the first time the Redskins got good pressure, and it came from Ryan Kerrigan.
He wanted to go down the field. Watch Antonio Brown get down the middle of the field right when Roethlisberger wanted to put it up. He has a shot right here, and at the last second, he feels the pressure, has to dip out of it and see if now he can salvage it.
Steelers have 2 timeouts remaining. It's 3rd and 9. And that pass hit the umpire. Well, the umpire back in the original position at the closing minutes of the half.
Oh, boy, that hurt. I think the stripes threw him off. He saw another set of stripes, so he figured, I'll just throw it in there. That's tough for those guys. You know, that's heavy-duty pay in there.
That's Darrell Jenkins. So good job by the Redskins defense. And the contact, Drew Butler is down at the 1-yard line. Great job by Curtis Brown. The defensive back gets down the field and makes the play at the 1-yard line. Excellent coverage. Coming up in just a little while is the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy checking you up on all the scores and highlights around the NFL. Patriots and Rams playing in London today.
Well, backed up down here, the Redskins have got 3 timeouts, but I would be surprised if they tried to do anything here. You're dancing with the devil. You think you're going to move this thing off. Now, Pittsburgh has 2 timeouts. They may try to utilize their timeouts to maybe make Washington punt it.
Quarterback keeper by Robert Griffin. That's a yard.
And that's exactly what Mike Tomlin does with the 2 timeouts. You know, you're not looking at you're going to have a lot of time, but maybe a bad punt. We've already seen Rocca shank one for 12 yards. Maybe you get a block. Anytime you punt out of your end zone, you're almost immediately in position for a field goal anyway. So with 1 timeout left, they'll probably utilize it here. And then I don't know with the 3rd, if that puts us to 3rd down, I don't know that it's going to do you any good, because the Redskins can then just let it come down.
Yeah,
with the 1 timeout left.
1 timeout left.
They'll use it here.
The referee correcting his call from a moment ago. 1 timeout remaining for the Steelers. Redskins have had only 1 good offensive possession in the game. Drove in for a touchdown. The extra point was blocked. From the 2. Flag goes down. A couple of flags. This may be against the Steelers.
Offside, number 98 defense. 5-yard penalty remaining. 2nd down.
That's on Casey Hampton.
Just good. You can see he's in that cocked position. Classic Pittsburgh Steeler. You're in that position to draw the block of the center and the guard, make it declare it. Got leaning just a little bit early.
And that gives the Redskins some breathing room. Gets them away from the goal line. Steelers' first penalty of the game. 23 seconds to go in the half. And Robert Griffin takes a knee. Redskins got to find a way to stop the Pittsburgh offense. Ben Roethlisberger with a big first half. And the Steelers have a 20-6 lead on the Washington Redskins. Robert Griffin III has been held in check, just 5 for 13, 57 yards. And a touchdown pass to Santana Moss. But the story has been the Steelers, both sides of the ball. London Fletcher keeping his game streak alive. Steelers were unbeaten at home thus far this season at 2-0. Off to a good start. Redskins will get the ball to start the second half. At halftime here in Pittsburgh, the Steelers lead the Redskins 20-6. Now it's time for the Visa halftime report. Let's go to the studio to Kurt Menefee. To start the second half in Pittsburgh, Steelers leading the Redskins 20-6. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. The Redskins will receive the kickoff to start the second half. We're held to just 51 yards rushing in the first half. Good job by the Steelers. Both sides of the ball, Brian.
Very impressive. You know, obviously with Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers offense up and down the field, it's easy to focus on that. This Steeler defense has been outstanding against, up to this point, what has been an excellent Washington Redskins offense.
Brandon Banks on the return. Gets across the 20, down to the 22. Let's check out what's going on the field. Here's Laura Oakman.
Brian, you talked about how excellent this defense is looking for Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin said it's the high-level intensity they haven't seen all year. He said, but the trick now is going to be, can they do it for 60 minutes? I asked him if we'd see more of this no-huddle offense. He said, no huddle, 3 wides, 2 backs, whatever it takes to move the ball. Mike Shanahan, for this offensive drive right now, catch the ball and convert third downs defensively. They got to get to Ben, and they got to get the ball out of his hands and stop third downs.
Good point. Laura, I knew that hood on the jacket would come in handy. You see the rain falling here in Pittsburgh. Redskins start from just past the 20. Griffin with time. Finds a man. It's Niles Paul. And Paul is out of bounds. The converted wide receiver, now a tight end, out of bounds at the 42.
Well, we've seen this action a couple times with a good play fake and the deep crosser working all the way across the field underneath. Once it's cleared out play side, they've hit a tight end that way. They obviously think this is the way to get in behind the Steelers secondary.
37-yard pickup on the pass to Niles Paul. The second-year man out of Nebraska. Second big play of the game for the Redskins. Play over 20 yards. Terrell Young, the fullback. Alfred Morris off the fake. RG3's got it, trying to turn the corner. And he was shoved a little bit by Lamar Woodley and stepped out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 35.
When we look at the stats here of the first half, what jumps out at you, obviously the total yards and time of possession. But the big thing, time of possession has also led to points. So often we talk about, yeah, time of possession is fine, but you've got to come out with points as well. So far, the Steelers have converted on all their opportunities.
First time they've scored 20 points and a half this season, the first half this season. Now first down, second down and 3 for the Redskins. And it's Alfred Morris getting a first down at the 30-yard line. Cameron Hayward, number 97, and a defensive end with a stop.
And this has got to be the thinking for the Redskins. They've got to look at it and say, you know what, it is a 2-score game. If we can orchestrate one solid drive here, certainly helps with an opening completion for 37 yards. Now we bring it down to a 1-score game. Now we've got a chance.
Young receivers in Aldrich Robinson and Desmond Briscoe are the wide receivers. There's Morris, and he's stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Good play by Lawrence Timmons, the inside linebacker. And Ryan Clark being helped up.
Nice job. Watch here on the edge how we first stop it and stuff it, and then the fill by the linebackers coming in under here. They've tried to pitch the ball and get wide against the Steelers defense all day long. Haven't done a very good job of it thus far.
Rainy day in Pittsburgh. Ryan Clark, one-time Redskin, helped to the sideline and maybe headed for the locker room. He's replaced by Ryan Mundy.
Redskins in their version of the pistol, simply putting the eye back in behind the quarterback.
Off the fake handoff, Griffin pumps it, pulls it down, buys some time, in trouble, he throws it away. Got shoved out of bounds for his trouble. And that was Will Allen, the safety, coming up late. And
little collateral damage on the sideline there. You can see right here what we talk about, his ability to play fake. Now look down the field. Did they get in behind the linebackers? No. Now he's got to improvise. Get to the outside, get rid of the ball, or get out of bounds. A little late shove there, but within bounds, and it looked like RG3 took out his own coach.
He got up. He's a very competitive young man. He's a battler. Here's 3rd and 12 for the Redskins. Santana Moss, Aldrich Robinson in at wide receiver. Quick outside of Joshua Morgan. Looking for some running room. Didn't get much, and he's brought down as he got across the 30. Gain of 3, but he's way short of the first down. And the Redskins send on the field goal kicking unit.
You can see here RG3, that little shove right there. Other young rookies might have burred back up, got involved, but he's not going to do it. This young man's way too smart to get drawn into something like that.
Kai Forbath on for a 48-yard field goal try. Sab Rocca, the holder. Justin Snow, the long snapper. And it's right through. He's been accurate with his field goals. Had an extra point blocked earlier in the game, but it cuts the Steelers' lead. Steady rain falling. Redskins defense now has to get something going.
A hurricane up the East Coast. I don't think it's going to make it this far west, but boy, we're going to start to see the beginning of it.
Steelers with a 20-9 lead as Forbath kicks it off. Ball into the end zone and through for a touchback. Here's the way the scoring has gone. On a 4th down and 1, Leonard Pope with the catch. Redskins came back, touchdown pass to Santana Moss, but the extra point by Forbath was blocked. And then Ben Roethlisberger, another pass to the tight end. This time it's Heath Miller for the touchdown. Steelers scoring every time they had the ball in the first half.
Kevin Goldberg, the general manager, not one you really hear a lot of. Been here a long time. Obviously, the Steelers, one of the best franchises in all of football. Probably doesn't get enough credit for the job he's done piecing together these great Steeler teams.
They retool.
Black 20.
Steelers from the 20. Jonathan Dwyer fights off London Fletcher and gets 12 yards on the carry. D'Angelo Hall chased him out.
Watch this block on the left side by Miller, just pushing it down inside and sealing it. Tell you what, Dwyer is just the kind of back people said, now let's don't get ahead of ourselves, but he looks a little like the bus, only because he's got the great size, and he really does have great quick feet.
8 carries, 73 yards after he rushed for over 120 yards last week. 2 tight ends in, Heath Miller and David Paulson.
Black 80. Black is up.
Off the play fake. Drops it off short, and the completion up to the 39. Let's get an injury update and go down to Laura Oakman.
Thanks, Sam. We saw safety Ryan Clark go off the field immediately into the Steelers locker room. That is because they are evaluating him right now for a head injury, so we know they do not mess around with that one. Straight from the field into the locker room for further evaluation.
Thank you, Laura. Last catch made by the fullback, Will Johnson. Puts the ball on the 39-yard line. 2nd and 3.
Black 20.
3 wide receivers in. And it's Dwyer. Bounces off a couple of tacklers. Runs hard, gets up to the 49. First down Steelers. Rashard Mendenhall still out. Isaac Redmond still out. Dwyer carrying the load.
Watch the feet here. Just what we're talking about, that size. That's 230+ pounds. Takes the hit. Great shoulder pad level. But then just kind of keeps those nifty little feet working. Steps to the side. Very much Jerome Bettis-like. And he knows it. He's just the kind of running back. He's looking at that DB going, no, no, you want no piece of this.
Yeah.
Black 80.
Steelers at their own 49. Straight ahead goes Dwyer again. And he picks up about 3 on the play.
We talked about the efficiency of Ben Roethlisberger, what they're trying to get. That's pretty efficient right there. Good yardage. Jonathan Dwyer, boy, this is just the kind of running back the Steelers would like to see him continue this. Mike Wallace really hasn't hit the big play down the field, but it made a number of smaller big plays underneath.
And Wallace bouncing back from the drops he had last week in Cincinnati. That last carry was Baron Batch, who's back in at running back, number 20. Everybody out. Pass to Batch on the outside. Makes the catch. Steps out of bounds at the Redskins 40-yard line. He's got enough for the first down. Perry Riley chased him out. These Steeler backs, very versatile.
Well, this is a nice job. You kind of bluff the end. They think you're going to chip with the tackle, and then you slip out. That's how you outflank the defense. Defense thought you were staying in for protection. You get outside the edge. Nice little pickup for a first down.
When they get Mendenhall and Redmond back, somebody's going to sit and miss some playing time. They've got some good players back there. Good depth at running back. In motion, Antonio Brown. Roethlisberger to the tight end, Heath Miller with room. And he falls over D'Angelo Hall and gets down to the 28-yard line. A pickup of 12.
And this is what's been missing from the Steelers the last couple of years. This ability to run the ball to the point where now they have to respond to that. Heath Miller jams down inside, making it look like a little run, then slipping back outside. Again, dink and dunk. Not a lot of big plays right now, but they're controlling the clock. They've got complete control of the game. And so far, this dink and dunk offense has put them in position for scores.
First down at the Redskins 28. And it's Jonathan Dwyer. There's a good hold there. He's dragged down. Good tackle on the play by Perry Riley. Riley, the third-year linebacker out of LSU, blossoming into a strong player for the Redskins on the inside. The one thing missing has been a pass, in my opinion, Brian, has been lack of a pass rush.
Right, and like we said earlier, anytime you have to bring that fifth and sixth guy to get pressure on the quarterback, it leaves you vulnerable on the back end. And that's been the issue for the Washington Redskins. So they can only really go after it with a four-man rush prudently, and it just hasn't gotten home.
Brian Orakpo and Adam Carricker lost for the season. Their two best pass rushers. Quick outside to Antonio Brown. Cuts it in. And he's hauled down by Reed Doughty, the safety, down at the 21-yard line. He gained 4 on the play.
And then keep in mind now, you know, the Redskins, look at the names on this. You're talking about your two starting safeties that are more like corners. Big loss for them. Orakpo, Kerrigan obviously is on the field. Carricker is the one that's actually down. Fred Davis, they just lost. Garcon, a big part of what they thought they could do offensively. And Jamal Brown, a tackle. That's a lot of folks to be down.
Jackson, I should point out, is not an injury. Tenard Jackson suspended for the season. And a timeout called by Ben Roethlisberger to go talk things over on the sideline with a 3rd down and 3 coming up. Steelers with a lead and on the move. James Harrison. A strong defensive game for the Steeler defense. He's still trying to get back into top form, coming back from an injury.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin told us, is he ready to play? Yes. Is he back to form that we expect out of James Harrison? No, but it's good to have him back.
3rd and 3 for the Steelers. And a direct pitch to Rainey. On the direct step, he's got a lead block by Pouncey. Gets inside the 5 and out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
We saw them working on this. Watch the fake of the quarterback. He steps in front of it. Roethlisberger like it snapped over his head to try to get the defense to take a peek. And Rainey sneaks to the outside. We saw him working on this on practice on Friday. He was away from the group with Marquise Pouncey working on the timing of this for about 5 minutes.
Pouncey led him around the corner. Gain of 19 and a 1st and goal for the Steelers at the 2-yard line. And it's Dwyer. Got to the goal line, but not in. Just short of the goal line. 2nd and goal.
Well, the Steelers twice have gone for it on 4th down here, and that affects your play calling. Those are decisions that are made early. I doubt that they'll do that here, so I imagine the play calling will reflect that they're going to take 2 more downs than kick the field goal. They want to get it back to that 2-score differential.
2nd and goal inside the 1-3, tight ends in. Roethlisberger throwing, touchdown to Will Johnson, the fullback. Steelers have scored on every possession in the game. Their 3rd touchdown. They've had 2 field goals. And Will Johnson holds on to the football.
He's carrying that around like that's his first touchdown ever. I'm betting that it is. I don't know that for a fact. Well, we'll check on it, but I'm betting that it is.
Checking on it, and it is. First career touchdown for Will Johnson. The first-year man out of West Virginia takes the pass from Ben Roethlisberger and in for the score. Another strong game for Big Ben, who's 21 for 28, 205 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And you want to look up efficient in the dictionary? They got those numbers right there. Now RG3 in this Washington Redskin offense, time's becoming a factor. They got to start thinking about no huddling it or cranking up their tempo, because time is definitely a factor here with just over 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. We'll see what they do when we come back.
Pittsburgh Steelers with a 27-9 lead. Want to correct something I said earlier. Steelers have punted once in the game, the last possession of the first half. So they scored on 5 of 6 possessions in the game. Now the Redskins from the 20. And the toss goes to Alfred Morris. Slips one man. Good run by Morris. Let's get an injury update from the sideline and go to Laura Oakman.
Sam, the last time the Steelers defense was out, Ryan Clark left the game, went straight into the locker room to have his head evaluated. The official word from the Steelers is that he does have a concussion. Obviously, he's done for the game.
So the 2 starting safeties are out. Polamalu did not play today, and Ryan Clark out. Ryan Mundy, I had a look at him there. 4th-year man out of West Virginia. Will Allen are the safeties. Morris with a good run. Flags go down.
Ball start, number 78. Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains. First down.
Corey Lichtensteiger called. We get an update from Kurt Menefee in the studio. Kurt, what's happening?
Well, Tom Brady's got 3 touchdown passes today. That's what's happening. 2 of them to Brandon Lloyd, that 9-yarder. Made it a 35-7 lead right now, early on in the 3rd quarter, over the Rams in England. Sam.
Thanks, Kurt. That's going to be a long flight home for the Rams.
There's nothing a lot worse than a long flight after a loss, but that's a long flight.
First down, Redskins. Off the play fake, Griffin throwing. He's got a man. It's Santana ball sliding. Couldn't hold on. Later today, Fox will be in Detroit, where the Tigers must win to stay alive in the World Series. It's Game 4. The San Francisco Giants leading the Tigers 3-0 after the shutout last night. Tigers win, and they're alive. Giants win. It'll be their 2nd World Series victory, World Series championship in the last 3 years. Game 4 follows the OT. After football, right here on Fox. What a day. Just stay where you are. You're going to love it. Here's RG3 being chased. Gets rid of it and completes it to Joshua Morgan. Morgan out of bounds up at the 33-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play.
Look at you're going to see coming off that backside Lawrence Timmons. He's trying to catch him. He probably knows in the back of his mind he won't, because you're not going to run this guy down. But that doesn't mean you're not going to try.
Steelers have not had a sack in the game. Evan Royster is in at running back on 3rd and 9. Griffin outside too high. And batted away by Will Allen. Tried to get it to the tight end Logan Paulson. And the Redskins forced a punt. Antonio Brown, who had a couple of returns called back last week in Cincinnati because of holding penalties. And Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers, was he upset? Long punt. Here's Brown. He's got some room. There's a flag down behind the play. Brown's going to take it all the way. And we got it. He backpedals into the end zone. And we've got to check the flag back at the 25. And the flag's down at the goal line. Little hot dog action by Antonio Brown. No call for that. But the flag will bring it all the way back to the original start of the return.
Yeah, both these are going to cost the Steelers. Right here, that push in the back right there. Came into it late right there. You
Curtis
can see
Brown.
Curtis Brown got the push on it.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 84, of the receiving team. The penalty will be declined. Illegal block in the back, number 31 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
Last week in Cincinnati, Mike Tomlin said guys will be benched because of that. He's upset about that, and he'll be upset about this last play.
Well, you can see Mike Tomlin, he's teaching right here, saying, son, we do not need that. Obviously, the block in the back, he's going to turn around and go talk to the rest of his team about the penalty. Here, this kills them right here. They let go of longtime special team coach Al Everest prior to the season, kind of an odd time in last August. And right now, special teams, particularly penalties, has been an issue for them.
They start from the 14, and Jonathan Dwyer on the carry, short pickup, and we've got some after the whistle stuff going on. Ball popped loose, they're fighting for it. Flags are down.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing you got to get under control. The Steelers clearly in control, and yet you get some dancing going backwards in the end zone by Antonio Brown. Now you get some chipping going on here. You got full control of the game. This is one where you need to make sure this thing doesn't get out of control. And just that last little push at the end.
Willie Colon.
Yeah, he didn't.
There are fouls on both teams. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 73. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 27. Penalties will offset. Second down.
You understand the frustration of Washington. You don't excuse it, but you understand it. But Mike Tomlin is kind of at a perilous point with his team right now. He's got to make sure they don't lose that focus, being up the way that they are. This is the kind of thing that it leads to. And once you start down that path, yeah, and if he doesn't get under control, they're going to keep those uniforms on him for real.
Mike Shanahan didn't know who the call is. There's no 27 on the Redskins defense. Might have been 37. We doubt it. Here's Roethlisberger throwing, and it's batted down by Ryan Kerrigan, who has an interception this season and almost had one there. Fox Sports is proud to partner with the Children's Organ Transplant Association during our NFL on Fox coverage. CODA is giving hope and making miracles for families whose children are facing transplants. To help change a child's life, please visit coda.org/Fox Sports. And we thank you for your help and generosity. Ball at the 16. Chris Rainey in at running back on 3rd and 8. And the screen to Rainey, and he's hit by London Fletcher. Wow. Now the Redskins defense may be all fired up.
Well, when you spend 15 years in this league, recognition to action, you could hear the pop there. He wasn't going to be fooled by this screen. London Fletcher, what a player, been at it for so long.
He was unsure if he was going to go. He did practice on Friday, made it through okay. Had 6 hours of neurology tests on Thursday. Long punt, Brandon Banks from the 31 on the return. Picks up a block. Still going. Along the sideline, he's out of bounds in Steelers territory. Great return by Brandon Banks to the Steeler 42-yard line. 58-yard punt, 27 yards on the return. And it sets up the Redskins.
And I want you to watch Keenan Robinson coming back here. Nice job just around the edge. Robinson right there pins that into the edge that allowed him to get this extra yard. He took out 3 guys with just 1 block.
Now the Redskins start from the Steelers 42. Darrell Young, the fullback, Alfred Morris at the top of the eye. Griffin caught the ball and falls on top of it. I don't know if he was trying to hand off and it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, this is kind of the way the Redskins' day is going right now. I think he was play faking. Comes back to the eye and probably stuck it in there just a little bit too far. Come out right there. This was going to be a play fake with a waggle back to the other side. He just lost control of it as he stuck it in for the play fake.
Loss of 7. 3 wide receivers in for the Redskins. Desmond Briscoe, Santana Moss, and Joshua Morgan. Griffin throws behind Briscoe, made a good catch, and gets down to the 36-yard line, make it the 35. Nice catch by Briscoe, a gain of 14 on the play. Redskins need something here.
Yeah, the numbers here aren't going to tell the true story in terms of the productivity or the lack of productivity. No continuity other than the 1 drive. Washington hasn't been able to sustain anything, and then when they turn it back to Pittsburgh, they don't get it back for 10 minutes.
There's 3rd and 3, and we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. The Redskins trying to mount a comeback. The Steelers with a 27-9 lead. Start of the 4th quarter in Pittsburgh. Sam Rosen, Brian Billick, Laura Oakman with you. Glad you're with us. Important 3rd down play. 3rd and 3 for the Redskins. At the Steelers 35. Inside handoff, Alfred Morris, 1st down at the 30-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play. Alfred Morris.
Yeah, and Washington's got to pick up their pace here a little bit. They don't necessarily have to be no huddle, but we're into the 4th quarter, down by a couple scores, haven't shown the ability really to punch it in other than 1 time. Let's see a little bit more pace out of the offense.
Morris with 11 carries, 48 yards. Off the play fake. Griffin going for the end zone, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by the Steelers. Keenan Lewis picks it off.
Boy, what a great play. Just going down. This thing had to bounce up. No, it hit the ground.
It's going to be, yeah, that'll be reviewed.
All scoring plays reviewed from above, so there's no flag required. Now, excuse me, change of possessions.
Right.
So they'll take a look at this from above. We'll have the answer when we come back.
Free Pete Morelli has reviewed the play.
After reviewing the play, the ball hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. 2nd down on the 29.5-yard line.
Good job by Keenan Lewis of trying to sell it.
Absolutely. And if Pete Morelli were totally honest, he'd have come on and said, the ball hit the ground multiple times. Yeah, there's no question about it here.
Keenan Lewis staying with Aldrick Robinson.
And he's acting really like, no, I had it. I love it. I love it. In his mind, he did.
So the Redskins maintain possession just inside the 30-yard line. 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. And Joshua Morgan, a wide receiver, lines up in the backfield. Alfred Morris on the carry. Inside the 20 and down to the 18. He's got another first down. Alfred Morris starting to pick up big chunks.
I want you to watch how this fake affects Harrison on the outside. He just has to freeze. He can't be sure, as he hesitates there, that RG3 is going to get the ball. It takes great discipline to handle option football. In that instance, Harrison just froze enough for the play.
Picked up 10 on the play. First down, Redskins. High snap. The handoff to Morris, and he's stopped. No gain on the play. LaMar Woodley with a strong play inside.
Yeah, he didn't have that same hesitation right here. He just knew that, you know what, there's no fake coming this way. Forget it. I'm just going to go hit the fullback and let someone else take the quarterback.
Second and 10. There's the veteran defensive coordinator, Dick LeBeau. Defense has played a strong game. Now Morris splits out wide for Washington. Here comes the blitz from Woodley. The pass dropped by Joshua Morgan. Another Redskins drop in the game. Number 8 in the game. That's bad.
Well, it was a jailbreak, literally and figuratively, here with these uniforms. But RG3 had to get the ball off way too early for his own liking. That's why the ball was a little bit behind him.
That's a big, ugly number for the Redskins. There's a big third down coming. Evan Royster in as the running back for Washington. Griffin in trouble. They got him. First sack of the game. Larry Foote, the inside linebacker, came all the way around.
One of the biggest jobs for a running back is in pass protection. Evan Royster just got blown over by Larry Foote right here. Not enough to hold on. Thinks he can lunge and cut him. Not going to happen to the veteran Foote. Been at this a long time. 11th season in the league. Went to Detroit for a while. Came back to Pittsburgh.
45-yard field goal try coming up for Kai Forbath. Forbath puts it through. He's 6 for 6 in 3 games with the Washington Redskins. The Redskins have to settle for 3. Steelers still have the big lead.
Well, we mentioned earlier, Dick LeBeau is 14-1 against rookie quarterbacks. If this stays true to form, he's going to be 15-1. That one was against Troy Smith, my quarterback, my last game of the season. We were able to beat the Steelers. Didn't do any good. Still got fired the next day. But so I don't know. It's something I got to be honest with you. I didn't know that was the one until we were in our production meeting last night.
I think Dick LeBeau would say, well, you know what? We were getting ready for the playoffs. Short kickoff is taken by the up man. And a good tackle on the play by Mario Addison. Will Johnson took the kickoff. Time for another game break. For that, we go back to the studio to Kurt Manafay. Kurt.
All right, Matthew Stafford's been the offense for Detroit today. He's thrown for a couple of touchdowns and then runs one on the bootleg, giving the Lions the lead over the Seahawks 21-17 in the 4th quarter. Sam, Brian, and Laura.
That's a heck of a game in Detroit. Seattle's
a good football team. They really are. Doing it on the road is the nemesis for them. Chicago right now at 5-1, but they are struggling with the Carolina Panthers, down 10-7 at home.
Roethlisberger puts it up, connects with Mike Wallace. He's brought down by Josh Wilson at the 31-yard line, a first down. This week, it's a college football Saturday doubleheader, beginning with TCU taking on 19th ranked West Virginia. Then, big Pac-12 showdown as national contenders battle 4th ranked Oregon taking on 9th ranked USC. Coverage of Fox College football begins Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox. And off to Jonathan Dwyer. Dwyer gets a couple of yards up to the 34-yard line.
We talked about the Steelers getting Marquise Pouncey back. Huge get for them. I want you to go back to setting up the touchdown. He gets this snap, this fake snap to the quarterback, shoots it back to the running back, and then gets out in front of the play. Marquise Pouncey becoming one of the best centers in the league. They've missed him the last couple games. Ben Roethlisberger told him that's the one guy I don't want missing. The comfort zone I have in having Pouncey back is huge.
He was leading his high school buddy, Chris Rainey, around the corner. Rainey teammates with the Pouncey brothers in high school. Roethlisberger out of the shotgun. Kerrigan with pressure. Roethlisberger moves, keeps it, and goes for a couple of yards up to the 36-yard line. Keenan Robinson brought him down, a gain of 3 on the play. It's interesting, we talk about these young quarterbacks, RG3 and Andrew Luck coming into the league, and we think back about Ben Roethlisberger coming into the league and what a great start he had to his NFL career.
And it was an unintended start. He played my Ravens and we knocked out Tommy Maddox. They went on to go 15-1. Told my defensive coaches I don't want him touched. Okay, if I'd have known that, I'd have said, you know what, I don't want Tommy Maddox touched the rest of the time, because Ben Roethlisberger on a heck of a run now.
It's on you. Roethlisberger steps up and throws, and the pass is dropped. Dropped by Emmanuel Sanders, the 4th drop of the game for the Steelers. And that'll force a punt. Just under 10 minutes to go.
Well thrown ball right where it needed to be. You can see his eyes never went to the ball. You start out teaching young players what? See the catch. See it into your hands.
Drew Butler with the punt. Brandon Banks heads toward the sideline, takes it at the 8. Not much room, and he steps out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Make it to 16. Redskins trying to mount a comeback. Back in Pittsburgh. The big crowd urging on the Steelers defense that has held the Washington running game to just 88 yards. They lead the league coming in with an average of 177 yards per game. Griffin still has it. Throwing and completing to Leonard Hankerson up at the 33-yard line. Gain of 17 on the play. Hankerson's first catch of the game. This is the type of game where they missed Pierre Garçon, who's out with a foot injury.
Yeah, that big play down the field. Yeah, hook up with Moss, give him a 1-2 punch that way. Also Fred Davis, the tight end.
Yeah. Off the play fake, Griffin rolls, sets up to throw deep. Way downfield for Joshua Morgan, he overthrows it. It was covered by Keenan Lewis. There's a flag on the play. Flag at the Steelers' 35-yard line.
Well, obviously something to do with the face mask. I don't know whose.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 23, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
This likely would have happened late in the play. Here you can see Morgan working down the field, gives a little bit of a nod. Boy, if he got it quick. Must have been just as he made the turn. Must have got his hands up in the face as he made the turn.
I think you're exactly right there, Brian. Ball at the 37-yard line. And Mike Shanahan wants to know. I think he wants to know why it's not pass interference, right? Yeah. I think the official saying the ball maybe wasn't in the air at the time. Off the play fake, Griffin in trouble. Got away from Woodley and dumps it off his drop. A drop by Darrell Young, the fullback. Good pressure from LeVar Woodley on the outside.
You can see it right here. Nice job closing in on RG3. Now he knows it's the boot. Come out of here, square up. Don't let him move around too much. Let your partners clean up.
That's the 9th drop of the game for the Redskins, the most of any team in a game this season. second down. Griffin throwing short and completing short. Well covered by Ryan Mundy on Santana Moss.
We talk about the lack of pressure on Ben Roethlisberger. Well, that's not the case with RG3. They've been after him all day. You got the sense from visiting with the Pittsburgh Steelers that when they got a chance, when they could put their hands on this guy, they were going to make it a physical day for him. And they've done that all day long.
There's 3rd and 4 for the Redskins. With 3 wide receivers in. Griffin throws to Santana Moss. He's hit and he dropped it. Incomplete. Big hit by Will Allen, who's had a couple of them in this game.
Well, right now the Washington Redskins cannot match the physicality of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, another well-thrown ball. Gets it out of his hand quick, cover it up. Just a beautiful open field tackle by Will Allen, stripping the ball.
Redskins will go for it, down by 15 on 4th down with Evan Royster in at running back. Everybody out. Pass complete and held on to by Santana Moss, and he's got a 1st down. Mike Taylor covering on the play. You see Santana Moss wrap up that football?
Yeah, he got a mulligan the first one. That was the exact same play that we had just saw that Moss had fumbled. He was going to hold on to it this time.
Important 4th down conversion. Now the 1st down. Coming down to the midway point of the 4th quarter. Royster in the backfield takes the toss. Now the flea flicker. Griffin steps up. Looking, buys some time, dumps it off to Paulson, and he's down to the Steelers 46. A little razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, the flea flicker. He had a shot. You can see right here at the top, it gets swabbed out. Then coming across the field, he had shots to both of them if he had time, but obviously the pressure didn't allow it, had to step up and drop the ball off at this point. This is always a dangerous play with a guy. See, he's not even looking downfield. He had a couple opportunities, but he couldn't set to peek down the field to see either of the receivers.
Alfred Morris back in at running back. 2nd and 4.
Number 82 offense.
And a false start on the Redskins. It's on the tight end, Logan Paulson.
Mike Shanahan knows right now this is the tough sledding for his team right now. The focus that it takes. They went for it on a 4th down, which says, you know, obviously they're going to keep going for it on 4th down for the rest of the way because the time left on the clock was a little over 6 minutes. Says we've got to get a couple scores and we got to get them quick.
3 wide receivers in. The chant is defense. Griffin throws, completes to Paulson. He's inside the 40. Down at the 37, a 1st down for the Redskins. With Fred Davis done for the season, he underwent surgery for an Achilles tendon injury. Logan Paulson becomes a very important man in the offense.
And I can understand maybe them not wanting to orchestrate a no huddle against this Dick LeBeau coach defense, but they've got to have more urgency in the huddle. It's taking them way too long to get these plays off, given the amount of time they're going to have to make up.
Ball's at the Steeler 38-yard line with under 6 minutes remaining. Off the play fake, Griffin throws, completes to Joshua Morgan, gets away, and gets down to the 17-yard line.
Beautifully thrown ball. I've never seen play fakes affect linebackers the way it does here. Look at the way these guys step up and don't get back into their drop zone areas, which is classic Pittsburgh Steeler football. And then these are beautiful throws right on the money by Robert Griffin.
3rd play of over 20 yards for the Redskins. 1st down, Washington at the Pittsburgh 17. Evan Royster, the running back. Everybody out. Short and missed by Hankerson. He looked late. He turned late.
He looked like he didn't expect the ball. I don't know whether he thought the ball was going elsewhere, but right here you're going to see him coming across RG3's face. Clears out in the middle. Perfect. Just he's going to run for a little bit, but it's like he never saw the ball come out.
drive for Washington. They need to score in a hurry. Down by 15. RG3 15 for 31, 184 yards, 1 touchdown. Griffin rolls, throws back to Paulson. And Brett Kiesel, the defensive end, makes the tackle for a loss. A loss of 7 on the play.
Outstanding play by Kiesel. They had gone to an unbalanced line, trying to move the defensive line away from where they were throwing that screen. Kiesel would have no part of it.
4 wide receivers in for the Redskins. 3 of them line up to the right. Royster, the running back. Now they bring Aldrick Robinson left. On 3rd and 17. Griffin, the fake, the throw, too low. It skipped to Hankerson, and it brings up a 4th down. And with 4:17 to go, the Redskins will have to go for it.
Yeah, and this is, I promise you, nowhere on Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan's play sheet is there a category for 4th and 17. So you're kind of making this one up as you go.
They are 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions. Royster in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, including the tight end. Griffin throws, and it's dropped. Off the hands of Santana Moss. Steelers defense comes up with a big play. They hold and maintain a 15-point lead.
RG3, you can see right here, you can chalk one up in terms of dropped balls. This was a perfect throw to Santana Moss, who's dropped his shares of them today. I can understand the drop because you're about to get let up, but it was a drop.
Like 20.
3 drops in the game for Santana Moss with 2 tight ends in. Jonathan Dwyer carries across the 25 up to the 26. This has been a big story for the Redskins offense. Hankerson.
Morgan right there again.
Morgan.
Possibility of a touchdown. It's, you know, this one drop after another, it kills your continuity. And RG3, for the most part, has been right on target. And it's got to be frustrating for the young man, but he's such a great natural leader. He'll use it as a learning experience.
The other RG3 was consoling him. That's
right.
Rex Grossman.
The third. It is Rex Grossman the third. He's probably upset someone stole that moniker from him.
A timeout used by the Redskins.
After this, here you go. I know you're waiting for this one
That's
tonight.
it. World Series Game 4. We've got the big game in Dallas. Football. Giants play the Dallas Cowboys. Then comes the OT, the best post-game show. Then comes Game 4 of the World Series.
I got a feeling I'm going to see it all because I think I'm going to be stuck in the airport tonight.
Plenty to watch. You'll enjoy it. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger goes back, swings it out to Jonathan Dwyer. Slips one man, stays in bounds, gets up to the 35, and that's a 1st down.
Smart move by the young back Dwyer. We're in classic 4-minute offense. Mike Tomlin wants to see his team at no point give the ball back to the Washington Redskins. That's what 4-minute offense is about. It's been something that's been missing from the Steelers' repertoire for a while. Look at the nice job knowing this guy knows, I do not want to get out of bounds. I don't want to stop the clock.
Here's a classic story with Jonathan Dwyer. He's a young man that was struggling early on. Was diagnosed with ADD, and once they got the medication going, settled things down, he has blossomed. Went to Georgia Tech, has blossomed into a fine player in the NFL.
And they are excited about him. He's got the physical build. He looks like a Steeler running back, doesn't he?
1st down at the 35-yard line. Redskins have 1 timeout remaining.
20.
They motion Heath Miller, and it's Dwyer ran into his own man and went down. There was a big wall in front of him, and it's a loss of a couple of yards.
Look at this way this guy runs. He's got the size, but he's got good, quick feet. You bounce off this guy, you're not going to arm tackle him. Nice stiff arm there. But look at the little side cut there. They keep talking about how quick a foot he is for a 230-pound plus back, well under 6 foot. Oh, boy.
D'Angelo Hall looked like he was getting into something with the officials. A couple of flags have been thrown. Let's see. Oh, here we go. He had the wrestling match with Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, and got up. That's all well and good. But now
can't take your helmet off.
Take your helmet off. That's a penalty. Official, you can see reaching for his flag right there. Yep. Boy, this is going to cost you. This is not good. D'Angelo Hall has had issues like this, and to continue to go after it,
There are fouls.
his teammates need to get in
number
there
23
as they are here
on
and
sportsmanlike
help him from
conduct.
himself.
Number 23. There's a foul against an official. Number 23 on sportsmanlike. They'll be both enforced. And the Redskins have taken their final team timeout. And number 23 has been ejected.
This is a replay of what happened.
They needed to get to him a whole lot earlier than this.
He has been thrown out of the game. Nicely said by Pete Morelli. He has been excused.
Yeah. And this one's going to cost him.
So D'Angelo Hall loses it. And a couple of penalties on the Redskins will be marked off. They started with this play and this wrestling match with Emmanuel Sanders.
And they really didn't go after one another. That's the interesting part there. It's not like he went after Sanders and the official tried to intercede. He just immediately went right for the official. This is a hard. Oh boy. Yeah, this is going to, rightfully so, going to cost him. He'll be lucky if he doesn't get suspended for next week as well.
And one of the veterans on the Redskins team is out of the game. The penalty's marked off, and the ball will be spotted at the Washington 35-yard line, giving the Steelers a first down. Dwyer remains in at running back for Pittsburgh. And it's Dwyer looking for an opening. Gets a yard on the play. Now the 34-yard line. Dwyer with 17 carries, 95 yards, with one big one, a 34-yarder. So the scoring for the game.
Well, as well as Dwyer is running, you got to know if they can get Mendenhall. That's what you see there in the sweats. They get him back, like you said, Sam. That 1-2 punch. Mendenhall's a different style of runner than Dwyer. That could be a pretty good 1-2 punch, and that doesn't even include
Isaac Redmond.
Yeah, Isaac Redmond could come back as well. So that's a nice deep running back core for the Steelers if they can get these guys back.
Redmond's had ankle problems. Dwyer going well. He's over 100 yards with that run. It's time for an update. For that, let's go back to the studio. Patrick O'Neill is with us. Patrick.
All right, Sam. Hey, bit testy there in Pittsburgh. And up next on Fox, America's Game of the Week, NFC East Showdown. Eli Manning and the Giants, Tony Romo and the Cowboys, two teams that have proven not to like each other very much. Tom, Troy, and Pam have the call on Fox. Next, Sam and Brian, back to you.
Well, thank you, Patrick. And the
Go ahead.
Giants will play the Steelers next week.
Yeah, that's a good 1-2 punch on the road. And, of course, a lot of these Steeler fans, they travel so well. Yeah. This is a good win for Pittsburgh, having to go on the road next week, stay in the NFC East with the Giants.
Now it's Baron Batch on the carry. Jonathan Dwyer had over 100 yards last week, has another 100-yard rushing game. First back-to-back since Willie Parker in 2008. Back-to-back over 100 yards. We've reached the 2-minute warning.
How about that? Great job by the truck. You got to think, make you think that they're going to go right from here, catch a train to play New York, right in the old Polo Grounds.
I was going to say good old days, but as you said before, in 1934 they were 2-10.
2-10. Well, they've already got half as many wins with these jerseys as they had back in 1934.
Hey, kudos to Jonathan Dwyer. 17 carries, 107 yards after going over 120 last week. This is Baron Batch, and he's stopped for a loss on the play. Washington Redskins. I hate to tell this to the Redskins and the Redskins fans, but since 2000, teams who have started 3-5, only 3 teams have made the playoffs.
Right now they're just thinking about that next win. They're going to travel they are at home against Carolina. And then have a bye. Then they get back knee deep in the NFC East with Philly, Dallas, New York. And oh, by the way, when you're done with that, you got to play the Baltimore Ravens.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough. Steelers did a good job against the Washington offense. Roethlisberger holds on to it, slides down inside the 20. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've got a trip to the Giants next week, followed by a game against Kansas City here, then a bye.
Now look at those 2 games in 3 weeks with the Baltimore Ravens. With Cleveland put in between. That's going to be a challenge for them.
I was wrong on the bye. I apologize.
I wish they had a bye between those 2
that's right.
Ravens games.
But now it looks like the Steelers are getting something going. They'll be 3-0 at home. 2 wins in a row.
And if they start to get some people back, like Isaac Redden we talked about, Mendenhall, talk about Troy Polamalu. How good will this defense be when they can get Troy Polamalu back?
I think one of the big factors, and the ball is turned over on downs as the Steelers went for it on 4th down. One of the big things in today's game, Steelers held the Redskins running game to just 88 yards.
We said that coming in, that was going to be a key to one of the wins.
And that man is the man who designed the defense and that work against the rookie quarterbacks we showed you since 2004. Today's game produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Artie Kempner. The technical producer, Bob Mueller. Technical director is John Howard. The master of audio is Jeff Cohen. The associate directors are Wayne Wilson and Yvonne Wagner. The broadcast associate, Jordan Wolf. Studio show produced by Bill Richards, directed by Bob Levy. We'd like to thank our spotter in the booth, Kimball Bergman. Our statistician in the booth is Jeff Nelson. Bill Harmon is up here as well. Eric Norton, Mike Eldrick with the stats and the control truck. It's all over in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers go to 4-3 as they defeat the Washington Redskins 27-12. Mike Shanahan and the Redskins are 3-5.